Yo, welcome to another episode of Unpredictable Thoughts Podcast. Your boy Trouble's in the building.
And your man Jones.
Man, I don't know where AC at right now. He goddamn watching his whole basketball team full of kids.
Yeah, he got a squad. I didn't know he had that many kids, but hey.
Yeah, he does. I want to say Happy New Year's, everybody.
Yeah, because it's a new year, 2018, people. And with 2018 starting, we're going to talk about some stuff that's going to make your year and your life a little bit better.
Hopefully, man. How's your New Year, John?
Oh, it's fire. You know, first new year with the new wife. You know, we kicked it with the fam. One band, one sound. You know, we do what we do. We always had fun together. So it was great.
Yeah.
I know you was out in Vegas posting pictures and shit at Club Tile. I mean, I seen the pictures.
Yeah, man. Vegas is a different fucking beast. When I say a beast, it's like I stayed out there too fucking long. I'll tell you that. I stayed out there too long. I was out there for 7 days. Me and my homeboy Cam, shout out to Cam, and Suge. We went out there for 7 days. Only should have really been out there for a good like three to four, if that, or whatnot. Party. I don't know. I really wasn't impressed with Vegas overall because I don't gamble or whatnot. But like, I don't know. I guess my mind state as far as going to Vegas itself was the whole like sightsee, which they really didn't have a lot to me because
You went in the middle of winter, motherfucker. I mean, goddamn, you went. It's cold as shit outside. What you gonna see?
But I don't know. I guess like, yo, when you think of Vegas or when you see pictures of Vegas, like, yo, I gotta go see that. But like when I actually saw it, it was like,
It's like going to Los Angeles to see in Staples Center. It's in the hood. You like, okay, I came out to Los Angeles for what?
Yeah,
It's in the hood.
and then it's like, okay, I seen the Eiffel Tower, the real Eiffel Tower,
Right.
As far as they have a lot of
Replicas.
Roman
replicas.
Yeah, replicas. So it's like they do a lot of Roman theme, like especially with the Caesar's Palace.
Mm-hmm.
So they had the Spanish Steps and shit like that. And I'm like, oh, I've been on the real Spanish Steps. I haven't seen the Eiffel. Not the Eiffel Tower, the Statue of Liberty in person though.
I have though.
Yeah, I mean
That's
that's
dope,
you, but
though.
you didn't go on the trip, so it's like
That's dope though. Yeah, I wasn't in Vegas. I didn't get to go to Vegas.
Yeah.
I'm not a Vegas bound person. But at the same time, you talking about what you didn't get to see or you wasn't impressed. But think about this. Think about people that don't never go nowhere, and they one trip a year is to go to Vegas.
yeah,
They mind blown.
yeah.
Think about somebody from Nebraska where they ain't got a building in Nebraska maybe that's over like 30 stories. They go to Vegas and the tallest building there, what, 78, 80 stories?
Yeah.
You know, or they go to New York and the tallest building there, 200 stories. You know, It's like,
I ain't trying to shit on people that don't whatchamacallit, but like from my personal
that's what it sounds
experience,
like though.
yeah, it probably did. But I
what it
travel
sound
every
like,
year.
That's true.
Yeah. Well,
true.
I travel every year multiple times.
Right.
Or whatnot. But from my experience seeing Europe first and then seeing the replicas, I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, if I was to travel here first, then saw the real thing, then I'm like, okay, cool.
Okay.
But
Yeah. It's like, I'll give you a
hustle
prime example.
backwards.
I'll give you a prime example. Station in Okinawa. Okinawa got an aquarium, one of the best aquariums in the world.
Uh-huh.
It's so fire that when you walk in, you just be like, damn. That's all you can say. You just like, damn. It's a plane of glass. Painted glass probably 60 to 80 feet tall.
Yeah.
Probably like 100 yards, not 100 yards, maybe like 50 yards across. Maybe,
Yeah.
seriously, 50 yards across. Piece of acrylic. And it's so big when you walk into the room, you're like, ain't no way that they could fit something in that shit. It's like 3 or 4 whale sharks swimming around in that bitch. There's a whole bunch of other shit swimming around in that bitch. And you like, yo, what in the hell am I looking at? Because shit I ain't never seen before.
Yeah.
So then I went to the aquarium in Atlanta and was like, boo. I was upset. I was like,
What the
boo.
fuck is this?
Yeah, like, boo.
Yeah.
I paid $35 for boo. I was mad. Like, this garbage.
Yeah.
You think that as Americans in America, we would do shit that's on a scale of that,
Yeah.
and we don't all the time. So I understand
Or
what
we
you're saying.
replicate it.
I understand what you said when you went to Vegas and you wasn't really impressed. Because I wasn't impressed with that. I had heard about the Atlanta Aquarium my whole life.
Yeah.
I never been there. When I finally went, I was like, yeah, I could have saved my money.
Yeah. I think though.
I was upset.
Yeah.
And I'm not shitting on the aquarium because for a lot of people, that's a fire-ass aquarium. But once you see the aquarium that I seen in Okinawa, it ain't that good.
I think the high roller, which is it's like a Ferris wheel or whatnot, you see all of Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
That I think that was dope. It's a lot of scams in Vegas, though. They will try to. That's like
There's a lot of scams in every vacation city or town.
Scam city. Fucking Caesar's Palace. $19.46 for Long Island.
That ain't a scam, dude. That's going on vacation in a vacation destination and them paying a price for watered down, bottom shelf liquor. That's what that is.
I should have knew something was suspect when you put in the squirt bottle. When he's pouring from the squirt bottle, I was like, "What the fuck?" He did 2 squirt bottles. Cause here, gave my shit 1946. I was like, "What?"
I just paid $20 for 2 squirts of alcohol and some Coke.
Exactly. Now I will say, Caesar's Palace, they buffet off the chains.
How much was a buffet though? Go ahead, give me the. I just paid.
Yeah.
Up in what was I at? What the hell did we just? Oh, in New Orleans, it was like $35 or $40 for the buffet.
Nah, you good? I'd have paid that. I paid $75. 75. Then they was charging that extra $40 for a 24-hour. Like you could come back within the 24-hour period, whatnot.
Did you get it?
I was like, nah.
You ain't go back?
Nah, I ain't go back.
You should have went back.
I know.
You should have went back and sucked your finger and put it in everything and walked out.
But as far as the food was like immaculate. Is that how you say it? Immaculate. Yeah. Oh yeah. Shout out to Crown Royal Black. That's what we sipping on.
As always.
And what we eating? Pizza.
Oh, Papa John's. We're doing Papa John's again because he stepped down as a CEO, so I can support Papa John's again.
Okay.
I wasn't supporting him for a minute because he was talking a whole bunch of shit.
Yeah, but that buffet was like immaculate. But like for real, like everything I will suggest, like a trip tip, reserve everything in advance.
It make it faster.
Yeah, everything in advance. Because when I went to the Caesar's buffet, I'm thinking like, cause nobody was in line, so I'm like, okay, cool, let me get on the little kiosk, put my information in. They was like, your wait time is 75 to 88 minutes. I was like, a bum.
Well, I appreciate you putting the information out there because my whole one band, one sound family went to Vegas last summer. I ain't go because I was buying this house, so I couldn't go. But they went and they do a little club. It's called a club hopper.
I don't do it.
I know. Before you say whatever you say, I didn't do it.
Yeah.
I wasn't there. But
fuck them.
It skips you around the line. We Grouponed it, and they saved like 75%. So they paid like $25 for a club hopper. Yeah. They got into 4 different clubs. So it's worth it when you got a big group. Because if you got a big group, remember what I told you? In the summertime, Vegas is a lot more selective about who they let in the clubs versus the wintertime. Yeah. Wintertime ain't a lot of people that they gonna let everybody in. Summertime, if you ain't dressed right and you don't look right, your ass ain't getting in.
Yeah.
Like, sorry for you.
See, the one thing I
little ugly dude.
I don't like dealing with club crawls.
Yeah, that's what they call it, club crawl.
Club crawls is because if you don't leave with the group,
right,
you can't come into the next club. But I'm like, yo, this shit fire.
Right.
I'm like, why would I leave if this shit is fire?
Right.
Because they try to scam you with the whole, you get into 4 clubs. Mind you, you going that whack ass time, so you might not even go to where
it's popping.
Yeah, when it's popping. So the first club you go to, that's your what's the word I'm looking for? That's what you think the club is. That's how you think the club is.
The problem with the club,
and then they offer all you could drink too.
Hopper, yeah. The problem with it is this:
watered down.
The club crawl is this. When you go in the club crawl, is you start too early and you end too early before the clubs really get popping.
Yeah.
So you in by 9, but you out before midnight. And the clubs in Vegas and most towns that's really fire don't get popping until after midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So you really wasting money. You're not wasting money because you're with a group of people and you're having fun, but you're wasting money because you're not really getting to see the whole club experience.
Yeah. Interesting.
So if you with a group of people and you're just trying to go and have a good time, and stay together as a group, it's worth it.
I say that, if y'all trying to just kind of like, if y'all really not into the club scene like that,
right?
If y'all just want to bounce around real quick, because I know Dre's, Drais, Okay. That's like one of the most popular clubs out there. 75 when Trey Songz was there.
Yeah.
I paid it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I will say I did see some good people out there though.
You was in there talking about some. This right here's a panty dropper.
Oh, but I did see some people out there. I seen Trey Songz, Gucci Man, Just Hilarious.
It's Gucci.
Just Hilarious from Baltimore.
I know if you don't sit your tight ass pants down, boy. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Damn, who else? And I saw
Nicole Murphy. He already told me the story.
Nicole Murphy.
Said she was fire.
Oh my!
Like she had a little light over her head the whole time she was walking around.
I didn't even know. I didn't know who she was until I was like, "Yo, that older lady is like fire." That's when Suge was like, "That's Nicole Murphy." I was like, "What?" Like this close?
You
like,
ain't never seen a picture of her before?
No. Like I don't follow.
You ain't never hear Shannon Sharp talk about her?
Yeah.
He lose his mind when he talk about Nicole Murphy.
Yeah.
Like she is the next best thing to breathing.
Yeah.
Like if without Nicole Murphy, he wouldn't be alive. That's how he talk about her.
Oh,
now don't get me wrong, she fire.
Man, she is fire. So
she ain't got shit on my baby, but she fire.
So Cam, my homeboy Cam, he's like, "Yo, who is that?" I was like, "Yo, that's Nicole Murphy, Eddie Murphy, ex-wife, blase, blase." He's like, "I'm about to go take a picture with her." I was like, "She probably ain't gonna do it. It is what it is."
She did it.
Nah, she didn't. He went up to her. I don't know what was said, but I'm pretty sure like, "Hey, can I take a picture with you?" Blase, blase. She did a polite curve. She said, "If I take a picture with you,
I gotta take it with everybody.
I gotta take one with everybody."
And
so,
that's true.
Yeah. And then like the man or whoever she was with, kinda, he had like the ugly face on, like, "Nigga, who is you?" type shit. It wasn't Shannon Sharp either.
Man, don't try to get bold and strong now, motherfucker. You should have said something when he was first walking up.
Exactly.
Put your hand out. You should block his view or whatever.
Yeah. So as soon as he walked away, because we was at the bar, so
Right.
my back is at the bar, so I'm looking at the whole scene, and he look at our group or whatnot. Then he try to caress her butt real quick, like man,
nobody
code,
want her
like,
ass.
that's mine.
Man, we know what man law is. We know what man law is.
Shit, I want her.
You don't want it. You don't want them problems.
She probably is crazy.
You don't want them problems.
But I will say, Just Hilarious. She is very humble. As far as being in the club or whatnot, she's very, very humble.
She's funny as shit.
Yeah, she's funny as fuck too.
Yo,
like,
she's funny as shit. I be looking at her videos dying. I be in my feelings laughing at that shit like, yo, this shit should be this funny.
But I would say that shit would kind of be irritating.
What?
Like being on that status.
I'm going to say this.
As far as internet famous.
I'm going to say this. Because she really ain't like famous.
Well, I say internet
but
famous.
she's famous enough that people know who the fuck she is when they see her out in public.
Yeah.
That's annoying because you got motherfuckers that think they like funny or they got a good ass joke or they got a good ass story and they think that they'll tell it to you and you tell it on the internet. Motherfucker, that shit is only funny to you.
Yeah.
It ain't going to be funny to the whole world. I got to say shit that's funny to everybody.
Yeah.
So I understand that part of it not being like a real like fire ass job to have. But the other side of that is the more people that you introduce into your world, the more fans you'll eventually get.
Yeah. The only thing I seen, like, I observed real quick, it was like other people would come up to us like, "Oh my God, you're Just Hilarious, aren't you?" I'm like, "Bitch, it's her." Like,
you was just on your phone like, yo, I know this bitch from somewhere. I know she from somewhere. And you just looked up on your phone so you know who she is. So why the fuck you gonna walk up to her and be like, "You're Just Hilarious"? You should be like, "Yo, Jess, what's up, son? Can I get a picture? What's good?" That's what you should have done.
True that. I don't know. Like,
Hope
when
your outfit wasn't so bad that she was gonna curb your ass.
Like, cause I seen her in line. Cause like I turned around and I seen her boyfriend Chris,
tall, light skinned dude.
Yeah, with the cornrows. I was like,
you still wearing cornrows? That's what you said in your mind, didn't it?
I was like, who the fuck is this nigga? I was like,
that still got cornrows.
Yeah, I probably did say that.
Like Kawhi Leonard.
I was like, who the fuck is that? I was like, man, that nigga look familiar. I'm like, he gotta be an up north nigga. Like, he gotta be.
Our style is undeniable.
Yeah, he gotta be up north nigga.
Undeniable.
And then I was like, nah, I don't know that nigga. And then I turned around again. Then I saw her. I was like, oh,
because she a little bitty thing.
Yeah, she's short.
That big. Yeah, she's little as hell.
I was like, oh shit. But she is, like I said, she is very humble. Like, she wasn't like curved. I mean, from what I saw, she wasn't like, "Bitch, get out my face," like on no nasty ass attitude. But
right. I mean, she not A-list yet.
Yeah.
I mean, shit. We on the other alphabet. It's like Z list and then there's like ZZ list.
Yeah.
That's what we at. We on the ZZ list.
Man, yeah. I mean, yeah.
We ain't made it to the regular alphabet yet.
Yeah, I didn't. Shit. Yeah. So
we ain't got that. We ain't on that side yet. So,
but yeah. So other than that, I think that's how I brought the New Year's, and
yeah.
Now I know it's a lot of people that's trying to do their New Year's resolutions. Did you
A lot of
make
people
any?
that already
Failed.
them shits is in the trash, garbage.
It's only
I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna go to the gym every day of the new year.
Yeah.
Gym empty as shit. Every day I go to the gym, it's be the same 8 people in there staring at me. So
5 days into the new year, did you make any New Year's resolutions?
I don't never make New Year's resolutions. And I'm gonna tell you why I don't make New Year's resolutions.
Go ahead.
If you gotta remind yourself of some stuff you trying to get to in the new year, every year at the beginning of the year, you ain't never gonna do the shit.
Oh yeah, I agree.
At some point, you just gotta get the hell up off your butt and do what the hell you gonna do.
Yeah.
It's just that simple. I mean, you can't just go with, I'm gonna make a New Year's resolution this year, I'm gonna be a better person. All I said about me and being a better person is I'm gonna be the same exact motherfucker I was last year.
Yeah, I agree.
Why would I try to be something that I'm not? Everybody know me as this person.
It takes time to change too. You can't be like, okay,
I'm gonna change in the first 6 months of the year.
December 31st, I'm this person. Right. Hey, January 1st,
I'm this person.
I'm this person. No, it takes time to change. It takes time to acquire a new attitude.
I'll give you a prime example before we get into what we're gonna talk about tonight. We talked about this video we saw online. You know what I'm talking about, the lady in church.
Are you gonna touch that?
We're gonna touch it. I'm gonna touch it because it pissed me off. Not because of what she was saying, because yeah, she was inappropriate for church for most people.
I break it down for him.
Okay, so this lady goes to church, and you know how they have testimonials in church. You can walk up to the front, and you can tell your testimony about how Jesus has delivered you from whatever strife you was in, whatever you was going through. But this lady used to be a prostitute, and she said that I used to be out here prostituting. I used to be out here sucking dick and sucking on dicks and licking on balls and shit.
Going to school drunk.
You know, go to school drunk. And when she said it, the dude that was holding the mic just kind of put the mic down by his side, like, "Yo, this is too much for church." The problem I have with it is this. Where else would you go to tell this story
to confess those sins
that you could not be judged, like you should not be judged in church? They say come as you are. That's what they say. Come as you are. But then you go there as you are, like she was. She was in t-shirts and jeans. She ain't have no makeup on. She ain't have on no fancy hat. She ain't have on no fancy clothes. She went there like, look, this is me. I'm raw down to the bone. And instead of letting her do her thing and getting that shit off her shoulders, they kind of downplayed her like, yo, we can't have that in this church.
Yeah.
No. If you can't go to church and be as honest as you need to be to get that grief off your shoulders, where else can you go? Where else can you go? Please explain to me. I need somebody to tell me where else you can go besides church to be that honest. And I ain't talking about no damn therapy. I ain't talking about no damn doctor. I'm talking about in front of everybody because you want to confess your sins to the Lord and everybody else so they know, hey, look, I was here. Now I'm up here. You got to start somewhere. It got to be a ground zero where you all the way at. And then you're going to go from 0 to 1 to 2 to 3, and you're going to get back on your feet. But if the church is judging you from the time you walk in the door, how you going to do that?
You can't.
It ain't no way that you can tell somebody that we welcome everybody into this sanctuary with open arms, and as soon as she starts giving you information that make you feel uncomfortable, now you want to shut her down.
I totally agree because, you know, I think it's like Acts 7:48. It says God doesn't live in the house made by man.
He don't.
So I was like, I should be able to confess where I need to be at, and that's why I don't agree with like big mega churches. Like,
well,
why do I have to go there? Why do I have to go to that place for my word to be validated to say I love the Lord? Before we get too deep, that's something light.
I used to be like that dude in church. I was that dude. I went every Sunday. I always gave tithes. I did all that. I was that dude. I went to church one Sunday. I had been going to this church for a minute. And I walked in the church and I saw an ATM machine. And I was like, yep, that's it. That's it. That was it. That to me was the tide that you cut the rope. You sank the ship. You did all the shit that you could do to me to make me not want to come to church ever again.
Yeah.
If you put an ATM machine in church, what are you saying? It's more important that I give money to you than to keep it in my pocket? Because believe me, if your church is that broke that you need to put an ATM machine in the church to get money from people, maybe you shouldn't have a church. Maybe you should make the sanctuary a little bit smaller. Maybe you should humble yourself before the Lord and say, we're going to start over again and try to build from this to something else. But if you put an ATM machine in the church, what is that saying about the church?
A lot. But from my understanding, as far as like giving tithes wasn't always about money.
It wasn't. It was about time. It was about time.
Whatever you could give.
Volunteering. Yeah, it was whatever you could do. It became about money. Somebody was like, when they rewrote the Bible from the Old Testament to the New Testament and blah, 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 I can give a damn less. Because I told somebody this and they're going to get mad at me for saying it. But anybody that's really, really true and really, really understands what I'm saying, they won't get mad. The Bible is a book of stories. Mm-hmm. And who writes stories? Man. or woman, whoever you want to choose.
Yeah.
It couldn't have been written by somebody or told by somebody and written down if a man didn't write it down or a woman didn't write it down. So don't get me twisted. I respect the words that are in the Bible to a certain extent, but I don't take that shit as the gospel because it ain't all true.
Yeah. I totally agree.
So when we go back to what I was saying about this lady being in church and trying to confess her sins and being in front of the Lord, in front of everybody and saying, look, this is where I'm at. She was bearing her damn soul. For anybody to stand in front of a whole church of people that she don't even know and say the shit that she done that is just degrading to her, and for you to downplay that shit, like put the mic to the side and be like, yo, I don't think this is the right thing to do in this church. Look, she need to get that off her soul. There's a lot of people that walk around with that same kind of shit on their minds and on their hearts, and they can't get it out because they know they're going to get judged.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was somebody that was going through that shit in the
That
crowd.
same shit in church. And like we was laughing about her earlier, and I said, she was talking about sucking dick and licking balls. And I said, I guarantee you it was somebody that was doing that same shit in that church last night that got on a hat, sitting like 3 rows back from the fucking front.
Yeah.
I don't care what nobody say. You try to go to church and act holier than thou, you got darker and deeper secrets than anybody else in the damn church.
Yeah. She was a very bold woman to
That wasn't bold. That was the end of her rope.
Yeah.
That was the end. She was at
bold,
the end of
courageous,
her. She was at the end of her rope, and she was like, "My spiritual journey gonna start today."
Yeah. Interesting.
That's why when people on drugs and they say, "Well, man, he on drugs, we gonna get him some help." You can't get him no help, or you can't get her no help until they ready to get help. You can't force nobody into rehab. Cause I see motherfuckers go to rehab 3 and 4 and 5 times and relapse. Yeah. Same thing with church. People go to church. Like, nah, I can't do it. Yeah. Until you ready to be in that life and be about that every Sunday, Wednesday night, or whatever night it is you do Bible study and all the volunteer events and giving money and all of that, you're not gonna be about it. Mm-hmm. And if you don't truly believe that the church is doing something great for the community, you won't be about it. And that's where I'm at with mine right now. Yeah. Like I see churches like I said, I went to church. I used to be that guy. I go to church every Sunday. Yeah. And I went to this church for like 10 years. And I was like, yo, they been talking about the church need a roof. It was a light bulb that was out. Now, I'm a Virgo, so we notice everything. Yeah. We see shit and we just be like, yo, that shit is wrong. So
exactly.
Light bulb had been out for like 3 months. I ain't say nothing. Light bulb was out 6 months. I ain't say nothing. Light bulb out a whole year. I ain't say nothing. Light bulb out 3 years. And they talk about something. We need some money for the building fund. Bitch, change the light bulb. Do that. Yeah. Fix that shit first. Start with the small stuff. You can't fix the whole building if you can't change the damn light bulb. Little shit. Start little and then get big. You can't start the race at the end. Yeah. You got to start at the beginning. So shit's what she was trying to start with her whole, basically a confession to the Lord in front of everybody. And they shut her ass down. And that shit, it really pissed me off. Yeah, it did. But I ain't going to go too deep in that because we're not talking about religion today. We're going to talk about something else that's going to start your spiritual well-being, financial well-being off on a better journey in 2018. We'll be in the 5th day of the year, 6th day of the year. Fifth day of the year. Fifth day of the year, we're going to talk about 5 January. Ain't nobody got no checks yet unless you got paid today. So you ain't got no check if you're in the Marine Corps. Yeah. You got paid on the 1st. So if you work for the government, you don't get paid till next Friday. So with that being said, for all those people that had got a check, put a little bit of something to the side for yourself. Always, foremost, pay yourself first. And by paying yourself first, I mean save something from you for yourself. I don't care if it's $25. I don't care if it's $5. You get paid and you pay all your bills and don't pay yourself first, you literally are you stuck in the mud. Yeah. You ain't ever going to get out of the mud. So we're going to talk about some steps to help you get to a more secure financial future. We're going to start off. Well, I'm going to start it off by saying this. Listen to what we say and don't judge us for what we're saying because we know everybody's situation is different. And like we always say when we do these podcasts, if you don't believe me, Google it. Google it, look it up, research it, do it for yourself. But if you get paid on Friday and you don't take some of your money and put it to the side, you can never get out of the paycheck mentality. The other side of that coin is this. If you're trying to keep up with everybody else in your community, in your neighborhood, trying to buy the latest Jordans, the newest damn iPhone, the newest damn Android phone, the newest whatever, you can never get out of that mentality. Some of that shit is a want. There's a huge difference between a want and a need. You need to eat. You need to make sure your car is going to get you back and forth to work. Yeah. You need, damn, a roof over your head. Those are needs. You want a new iPhone. You want some Jordans. You want to go on a damn trip that you can't afford. Those are wants. Pick your priorities. And believe me, I'm not judging because I used to be the same way. I was the same way when I was young. I was like, shit, what I want is what I want, and I'm going to damn get it. But now that I'm a little bit older and I got a little bit different responsibilities, I understand that it takes time to get to where you need to be at. And by no means am I hate to use the word rich because I ain't even close to that. I'm closer to broke than I am to rich. And that's being honest. But you got to start somewhere. So when this next paycheck come, for those people that's going to get paid next week, take something and set it to the side in your savings. And if you can't do it because you can't remember it, do it automatically. Have your bank automatically transfer the money to your savings account. That way you don't even see the shit. You don't even know it's there. It's already gone. You start off with a little bit. And once you get to a certain point, you're going to realize that saving ain't as hard as you think it is. And you'll be able to save more money. But you got to prioritize what's important to you. And if going to the club or hanging out with your homeboys or trying to keep up with your girlfriends because she got a new Coach bag, so you got to get a new Coach bag, or he got some new Jordans, so you got to get some new Jordans, or whatever the fuck it is that you think is more important than saving for your future, believe me, you might be in your 20s now, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s. Damn, retirement going to come up on your ass so fast you ain't even know it's there. And you ain't going to be ready for it.
Exactly. That's why I got my man's Albury in the building.
We brought Albury in here. Albury going to give us some good information about.
This is my financial guy.
There you go, financial guru.
One of my financial gurus who I, for those that kind of know me, follow me on Snapchat or anything, I briefly started to get in the stock business, the whole stock world, and not Bitcoin. Not Bitcoin, Litcoin, none of that. Been talking with Albury for about, how long we been talking as far as stocks?
It's been a good 6 months.
So a good 6 months I kind of been in the stock game. I always wanted to do it. I just never got the real push to get into it.
I think that word you look for right there is support. And
Yeah,
I think that's what makes or break people when they determine what their financial goals are. Because as Jones was just saying, when you looking at somebody who buy new Jordans, you can't surround yourself with people like that because they aren't going to put you in a better financial position. You need to surround yourself with people who are trying to save like you are.
Yeah.
So
as far as the stock game in itself, it's like a Wolf of Wall Street.
Like you just said, use the perfect word for the stock market. And we talked about this earlier. It's a game. You got to learn how to play the game to be successful. But we're going to let you go ahead and give us some information on that because you are the guru in the room.
There we go. In the room.
For 18.
Right.
Some of the stocks I invested in. What the fuck did I invest in?
Nike,
Starbucks,
Hennessy.
That's my drink of choice. That's why.
We don't drink that in this house because Hennessy is expensive. Yeah. We stay in our lane.
Yeah.
Right.
Brown rural lane.
Right.
But yeah, it's a couple stocks I got into the game with. Mind you, I'm not making large amounts of money due to the fact of I hadn't put a lot of money to it, but I am getting something called dividends from them.
Right.
Small amounts, but compound.
Right. And that's what we spoke on earlier today, compounding. Look, it don't matter if you got to start off with 10 cents. I'm going to quote Steve Harvey on this one because he said it best. Steve Harvey said, find you something that'll make you $10 and just keep on doing that. Steve Harvey, everybody knows him as the guy who's running darn near every TV show on TV right now, but he started out in comedy clubs. And comedy clubs nobody even heard of. He started out not being funny. Mm-hmm. And he is one of the prime examples today of what the power of compounding looks like. Yeah. Because he found his skill, he found his craft, and he kept polishing it. He kept working at it. He kept refining it.
Never lied, because he was compounding on New Year's Eve in that ugly-ass outfit.
Ain't that? Oh, man. Yep.
Man, he was doing it with that ugly outfit on. But go ahead, we talking about money now.
Right. So, with regard to what you got going on in 2018 and what anybody has going on in 2018, I definitely say that the number one thing that you need when approaching this game, when approaching this business, is to know what the rules are. And it's crazy to me because everybody's like, oh, I'm going to make this amount of money, that amount of money. Well, you about to sit down and play a game to where you're some people risking their life savings. There are people out there like that because they found those person who know how to talk that game. That's what the Wolf of Wall Street. Here's the difference. The Wolf of Wall Street are the individuals who are there to prey on the sheep of American society. Those individuals who say, hey, I need someplace safe to put my money.
Yeah.
But as Curtis Wall Street Carroll put it, ain't nobody gonna manage your money better than you. And he did a great TED Talk in which he explained financial literacy. Because here we have a African-American male who's in prison, who had to learn how to read in prison because he did not have an education system to support him in the way that he needed it. Mm-hmm. And so not only did he learn how to play the stock market in prison, he also learned how to read in prison. Ooh. And so this shows us the power of not only our resources that we have in play, because like I said, I don't care if you got to start off with 10 cents. Just being in America, period, you are automatically given an edge. You are automatically given a statistical advantage of success. And granted, of course, we could throw the numbers out there. Everybody does. You could throw out the numbers that this race makes more money than this race, and certain incomes are affected from where you come from and where you're going.
Yeah,
we could throw the numbers out there, but I don't want to go down that route. I want to focus on the numbers that's going to make you successful right now.
Correct.
And those numbers are thinking in terms of probability. So when you go to say, hey, you want to buy this company or you want to buy that stock of the company, you got to look at it from this perspective. What is your chances? What are your chances of making money, and what are your chances of losing money? Mm-hmm. Because this is your fail safe right here. It don't matter how much you make. Anybody can make money. I mean, really.
I agree.
Like literally anybody in America can make money. You ain't got to be smart. Hell, you ain't even got to have a good idea. Your idea can be dumb as hell, but as long as you can make a product that sells, that's all that matters. As long as you can find somebody to buy it, that's all that matters. And so what we have when we approach the stock market is we're talking about literally the classes, in air quotes, that everybody thinks that we have. When we start talking about the classes, here's a psychological difference. The psychological difference between what we call the poor class, in air quotes, the individuals who choose not to invest their money, they'll look at those Jordans and say, I want to buy those. They'll look at those Nikes and say, I'm going to buy those with the next paycheck I get. Whereas what you refer to as the rich class, in air quotes, what they would say is they would look at those shoes and go, find out who the maker of that company is, who made those shoes, go and get stock for that company, and then put enough in to where the dividend will pay for the pair of shoes that they're looking at through the window.
Exactly.
And that's the difference. That's the psychological difference between the rich and the poor. Ain't nothing wrong with having luxuries. Ain't nothing wrong with having a little bit of extra you want to shine. Hey, do all the shining you want to do. But if you ain't in the financial position to set yourself up for the future,
yeah,
it's not your time. It is not your time to shine. Go ahead and take you a step back, have your seat, humble yourself, whatever you got to do, but that ain't it right there.
What he's just said, if you want to shine, there's nothing wrong with going out and treating yourself. If you work hard for your money, like I did. What I do when I retired, I went out and bought me a damn Challenger SRT 8.
There we go.
Because I was in the Marine Corps for 20 damn years and I wanted it. And I'm like, I'm going to buy it.
Yeah.
And people was like, I can't believe you bought that car. Well, I can't believe you're in my damn business. It ain't got nothing to do with you. But that's what I did for me, because I said after 20 years of doing I tell people this all the time. If you do anything for 20 years, you better treat yourself to something. You better have something to show for it, because
that's right.
It's not because you're trying to brag or show out on none of that shit. It's because you deserve it. Why do you think people reward themselves when they graduate college? Oh, I'm going to take a trip.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. After all that hard work, you need to be able to let some stress off. Be like, finally, this shit over with.
Right.
You know?
Right.
It's not about keeping up with anybody at that point. Like I always talk about my little group that I hang out with, my one band, one sound group. We always say that. That's our little saying. When we go on trips, we know about the trip anywhere between 4 and 6 months in advance. What do I do to go on a trip? I don't just be like, oh, yo, I'm just going to wait till the last day and I'm going to just take some money out of the bank and I'm going to spend that money. I save up for the trip. So when I go on a trip, it don't hurt what I already got in the bank. It don't hurt my wallet at all. I don't feel no pain at all. What some people do, when I used to do when I was younger, and I use myself as an example because I was a young Marine, I was spontaneous as hell. I get paid on the first, I'd be broke on the second because I was a young Marine. Yeah. And you know how Marines do. We do dumb, and not just Marines, everybody that's young does dumb shit. And there's an exception to the rule. There's always one person that's like, yo, I ain't going. And while you was out there partying, he was in the room like, yo, I'm stacking my coins. And you don't know what he doing. He ain't telling you. Because if you want to keep a friend, don't tell him your next move. Tell him your next move, you're going to lose a friend.
And I'm going to go ahead and jump in on that one, because that speaks to the support system that you literally need when you going on a journey like that. Because it's like he said, you in there by yourself. The only way you gonna meet anybody who doing what you doing is when y'all walking down the same street of success, when y'all walking down the same road of success. But other than that, nah, I got you. New Year's Eve, when the clock hit 12, I wasn't out partying. You know what I was doing? I was in my room balancing my checkbook, looking at my accounts, seeing how much I made for the year. Because I decided for myself that that's going to be the priority. That's what's going to be important for me. Now, am I saying I'm not going to party? Oh, we partying this weekend. We got it. But you have to make a decision, and you have to decide what's more important to you. Do you want to party now, or and have to worry about paying for the party later on?
I'm gonna tell you something that's a prime example of a statement that somebody told me on recruiting duty. Y'all young Marines, y'all ain't decided what y'all be really gonna be yet. But on recruiting duty, it's a famous saying. There's two of them. One of them is, "What have you done for me lately?" From the old Janet Jackson song. And the reason why they ask you that question is because they don't give a shit what you did last month. What you gonna do this month? And the other one was, "You can pay me now, you can pay me later, but either way, you gonna pay."
Yeah.
And the reason why they said that was this. You can bullshit around and not get no contracts in February. Don't get no contracts in March. Don't get none in April. We're going to put your ass on damn caution. Now, instead of giving me 1 or 2 contracts, now you owe me 5. So you could have paid me then, or you can pay me now.
Yeah.
So you got it. Same thing with money. You could save the money now and pay yourself later, or you can keep on bullshitting around and bullshitting around and bullshitting around. And then when you're 55 or 60, like, oh shit, what am I going to do for retirement? Because if you think Social Security going to be enough, it ain't.
Yeah, well, man.
If you ain't got a career where you've been putting money into a individual retirement plan, or they got a retirement plan at your corporation, which most corporations don't anymore because they're getting rid of them, then you're going to be in a hurt locker. The thing that we was talking about earlier, because we always talk prior to these podcasts, we always have a pre-podcast meeting. We always talk about this stuff, is just starting small. And when I say starting small, we was talking about saving $500. And when I say $500, people was like, man, $500 ain't nothing. It ain't nothing to you, but to a person that's living paycheck to paycheck, $500 is a damn grip. That's 2 pair of Jordans he can't buy.
Yeah.
That's
half Bitcoin you can't buy.
That's half of an iPhone 10 you can't buy. Because iPhone 10 $1,000. So, you think about it like that. That might be him not being able to go to McDonald's, 12 times out of the month, or whatever the case may be, or she might not be able to do this or do that. It's hard for somebody to give up what makes them feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Now, and think about this from a young man's perspective. If you got something that makes you feel good, do you want to be able to get that up, save money? Like if your girl like, yo, if you take me out to eat, I'm gonna do these strange things to you for a little bit of change. You don't get that shit. You gonna take her out to eat.
Yeah, you thinking with the wrong head.
Right. So you got to think about. I hate to say it, but sometimes in order to advance, you got to cut some shit off.
Oh yeah,
you got to get rid of some people.
And I love how you said that because that's perfect right there. Because look, I know everybody out there ain't trying to strive to be the 1%. I get that. I totally do. But don't strive to be the bottom 99 either.
Hell no.
Because when you get to the point, because everybody has that wake up call, and I think the only reason why I'm speaking to this is because I had mine a little bit sooner than everybody else. Because this wasn't something that I decided I need to wake up and start doing on my own. This was me listening to the advice of my senior enlisted in the Marine Corps, and they're the ones that got me on this. They said, think about your future. Think about what you're going to do now for the Marine Corps, but think about what the Marine Corps is going to do after you get out.
Yeah.
Because this organization is designed for you to succeed. So when people walk around and say, oh, I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to do that, then the Marine Corps literally creates you a business network that you can find like-minded individuals who have that degree and that standard of professionalism.
Yeah, the military in general.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Military in general. One thing which is booming, I want you to speak on, is the whole Bitcoin situation.
Right.
Because that shit is like booming. Everybody wanted to jump on it.
Yeah.
I mean, I was going to jump on it. Me and 3 of my homeboys. Shout out to my homeboy Smith. And shout out to my homeboy Tony. Tony, like my money man guy.
Yep.
So I was running numbers. But, I mean, Smith ain't jumping in there. I was kind of I was thinking about doing it because, just to do it. But what, 3 weeks ago, they lost 13 stacks.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, speak about the whole crypto.
13,000 or 13 million?
It's 13,000.
Oh,
yeah.
But how much is the stock worth though?
Shout.
Right.
Yeah, but speak on that. As far as the whole Bitcoin situation, where you see it going, things of that nature.
Right. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw a disclaimer out there. I ain't psychic. I ain't a fortune teller. But I can definitely say I am a studier of human behavior. Human psychology is nothing but one big cycle. All it does is repeat itself over and over again. That's what makes the market game so easy. Once you realize how to recognize those patterns and understand mass psychology and human behavior, everything's cake. You literally just pay yourself monthly, weekly. You could do it however you want once you understand how everybody else making money.
Yeah.
And so what's going on in Bitcoin right
losing
now?
it.
Exactly. What's going on in Bitcoin right now is it reminds me of Tulip Mania. Tulip Mania happened back in the 17th century with the Dutch. So the Dutch got the great idea to use tulips as their currency for a while. And it was only supposed to be temporary. But literally what happened was it spread like a virus. And everybody became so excited about it. Like, this is our new currency. This is going to be awesome. Like, this was going to build the market up again. Because as soon as they started incorporating tulips as a currency, everybody was like, oh, I could buy this with tulips. I could buy that with tulips, because it was just a flower. They thought to themselves, if I ever need more tulips, I could just grow my own. But what's crazy and what happened is it got to the point to where everyone was saying that, but nobody was realizing that what they were trading as far as the paper contracts and saying, hey, this is the IOU you owe me, this is the IOU you owe me. That's all they were trading. Nobody had any real tulips at the time. And so that's what, let me ask you a question. You ever met a person with a Bitcoin in their hand?
Nah,
because it's an electronic currency.
Have you ever seen one?
No.
Besides the little thing that they put on the line that show you what a Bitcoin supposed to look like.
Exactly.
Nah, I never seen it. Yeah, I don't know.
And this is my point. What happened in Tulip Mania was the Dutch. The Dutch was the country that incorporated that whole scheme. It crashed. The entire country went down because they didn't have a stable currency. And I don't see Bitcoin becoming a stable currency as strong as the U.S. dollar or as strong as the Japanese yen anytime soon.
But
because
Japan, they incorporated
the
federal level, right?
Right. Japan has approved Bitcoin as a currency, and you can use Bitcoin to buy and pay for services in Japan. That is true. However, seeing that influence in America is what everybody's dependent on right now, because we do still hold some commentary on the global economic level. So for me, Bitcoin does look very attractive. It does look very good. But at the end of the day, it's a tulip. And this is what I want to advertise as far as the stock market. What everybody needs to make sure of is make sure that they are able to convert their stocks, those certificates that you purchase, etc., into physical, tangible evidence saying, hey, I own this and I own that.
So
because
get the stock certificate.
Certificate, exactly.
Or you be able to convert it into cold, hard cash.
Exactly.
If you can't do those two things, what is it worth?
And that's exactly what happened, because Bitcoin, they did have a deep, you know what it looked like to me? It looked like a bull running up a mountain, and then it fell right off the side of the cliff, fell right into the ocean, didn't even see the bottom coming. And that's exactly what happened. And I think that's what's going to happen again. I mean, because the people want it. Once the people want it, it's going to be there. There's at this point, there's too much money poured into it not for it to be a thing now. It's solidified. Yeah. But the question is how much are you willing to lose to make it big?
What we talked about earlier today about the bull market. About how the market has just kept going up. I just looked at it online. Up. It's been going up like this.
Yeah.
Steady.
For a long time.
Right.
Now, I'm older than y'all. How old are you?
23.
Okay, so I'm way older. I'm exactly 20 years older than him. Our birthday's like a week apart.
Yeah.
So I'm exactly 20 years older than him, and I'm like 24 years older than you. I have been through
the Great Depression.
I've been through black. I have been through. They called it Black Monday.
Yep.
When the stock market took a shit.
Yep.
I don't mean a plunge. It took a shit. And people was like, yo, what the hell is going on? I've been through the housing crash. I've been through the Great Recession. So I've been through 3 major stock markets when they just like totally just been blah.
Yeah.
And mind you, some of the shit happened when I was younger. And I really didn't understand like what the hell was going on. But the Great Recession, I understood that shit clearly. I understood the housing crash clearly because it made everybody stand up and pay attention because it affected everything.
Yeah.
You gotta understand this about, we talked about history. He was
That's
just
right.
talking about the Dutch. History is doing nothing more than repeating itself.
That's
We're
exactly
talking
it.
about this new tax plan, and that's because it's gonna affect your stocks and all this. This ain't nothing but Reaganomics in 2018. You don't know what Reaganomics was? You wasn't even born when it came out.
Fuck no.
But Reaganomics was commonly called trickle-down economics. we're going to give the tax cuts to the rich. They're going to spend more money, and the money's going to some kind of way work its way down into the hood. That shit don't work. How you going to give money to the rich, give more money to the rich, and then they're going to spend more money, and in some kind of way it's going to work it down to the lowest person on the totem pole? How?
Money ain't water, people.
More importantly, what rich person want to spend money to give money to somebody else that ain't got money?
Yeah.
Think about it like this. I hate to use this as an example, but we eating this pizza, so I'm going to use this as an example. Papa John's. When Papa John's ass started losing money, all of a sudden he get online and make some bold ass statement like, the fact that these NFL players are kneeling during the national anthem is causing me to lose. He ain't say it was causing him to lose money. It's hurting my business. Bitch, if you think that's the only thing that's hurting your business, you an idiot.
Nasty ass crust.
Right. A garbage ass pizza. Yeah. Sometimes, shit. Just because they all got Papa John's on the outside don't mean they all make the pizza the exact same way.
Yeah.
Whatever the case may be, it's more than just that's causing you to lose business. And one of the things that really probably caused him to lose business was the fact that once they realized that Jerry Jones owned the majority of the company, people was like, man, I ain't fucking with Jerry Jones like that. See, it ain't
still own it?
Yeah. Jerry Jones owns hundreds of franchises of Papa John's.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Because it's a smart business venture.
Oh, yes.
But think about it like this. History will always repeat itself until somebody stands up and says, yo, enough is enough. Right now, that's not going to happen because everybody's scared.
So basically, this Reaganomics 2.0 situation.
Right, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, yep, that's a good name.
That's exactly what it is. Reaganomics 2.0.
This is the next great recession, depression,
in the making. In the making. And I'm going to tell you why.
So what's the time frame for it then?
It took about 15 years for it to like fucking really just implode on itself. Because rich people were spending money like it was going out of style. The problem was it never made it down. Because you got to remember when Reaganomics was coming out, what else was hitting America? Y'all don't know this, but what else was hitting America?
Drugs?
Yes. At the same exact time.
Oh.
The cocaine was getting turned into crack.
Exactly.
And it was fucking the country up. That's where the war on drugs came from. But the war on drugs was before that with Nixon in the 70s. And people was like, oh, this war on drugs is new. No, it ain't. We've been fighting the same bullshit war that we ain't gonna never win since the fucking 20s.
And here's where that history is repeating itself because I don't know if everybody knows this or not, but now we recently had for this decade we had an opium crisis. Opium is
whoa! I gotta stop you right there, and I'm gonna tell you why I gotta stop you.
Go ahead.
It's only a crisis because it's fucking with white people.
You know what? You right.
I'm gonna say it out loud.
You right.
It's only a crisis because it's fucking with white people.
You right.
Black people was dying by the hundreds, would nobody give a flying fuck. If Hispanics was dying by the hundreds,
you right.
Nobody would care. Only because white people are dying, all of a sudden it's a crisis. Man, get the fuck out of here.
Yep.
That ain't no damn crisis.
Yep.
If you want to stop the crisis, stop bringing the drugs to the country, government, U.S. government. Stop bringing the drugs in. You brought them in the first time, and now you got to deal with the shit.
Yeah. Exactly.
I'm going to tell you, how do you get, let's answer this question, sidebar on this podcast. How do you get 100 tons of anything in this country? How does it get here? You live in Baltimore. What's in Baltimore?
The harbor.
The harbor.
Boat.
Yep, shipping ports.
If you got a port, that's where it's coming. It ain't coming on no damn plane. You can't put no 100 tons on no damn plane.
Yeah.
It got to come on a ship. You can fly some little bits over on a plane, but you ain't flying no 100 tons over this motherfucker on a plane.
Especially during that era.
So if they got an opioid crisis, which is what? Drug?
Right.
Heroin?
Right.
How the fuck is it getting here?
Mm.
And where does heroin come from? Afghanistan.
Well, there we go, people. Because and you said it takes about 15 years for
15 years for the bubble to bust before people start really feeling. Put it this way, it's like putting on a tie and choking yourself with it.
There we go.
Before it start getting tight.
There we go.
About 12 to 15 years. Mm-hmm. Now some people gonna be smart and get the shit out, get out of that shit before it busts.
Right.
But some people gonna try to ride that damn bull right off the cliff.
Right off the cliff. And
not because they want to, but because they think it's gonna turn around. It's like a relationship that's ending.
Ha.
You're going to keep on doing shit, hoping that shit don't. I'm going to keep on buying her flowers. I'm going to keep on taking her to dinner.
Right.
And eventually, she's going to see how much I love her.
Yeah. Right.
Nope.
Ain't going to happen.
When it's over, when a female gone, she gone.
Yeah.
Shit, when she done left, she done left.
Yeah.
And no matter what you do, she going to keep on accepting the shit, but she ain't coming back. Same thing with the bull market. When it's about to take a plunge, it ain't nothing you're going to be able to do to stop that shit. Y'all, we vaguely talked about the damn housing crash. You can't sell somebody a house that make $50,000 a year. You can't sell them a $500,000 house. They can't afford it.
Yeah.
And that's what they was doing, basically on adjustable rate mortgages. I'm gonna sell you a house that I know you can't afford with an adjustable rate mortgage, where you ain't got to make the first real big balloon payment for 5 years. And that sounds good, like to you. Oh, that's wonderful. I can have this 4,000 square foot house, and my mortgage only gonna be $800 a month for 5 years. I can afford that until year 5 roll around, and now your mortgage is $2,400 a month.
Yeah.
You ain't playing for that shit. You ain't saving no money for the $2,400.
Fuck no.
Okay, now people start going into foreclosure. Well, because you lent money out based off the fact that you were selling houses with these mortgages to these people that now can't pay their mortgage, you can't pay the loans back that you got from the lender that you got the money from. Mm-hmm. You borrowed money based off the mortgages. You can't pay that loan back now. Now you in trouble.
Yeah.
When it got so big and out of control that everybody started noticing it, it was too late. But that's what happened with, let me say this. Because ain't nobody said nothing about this yet. Because they deregulated the stock market a little bit more for this last tax bill that just got passed.
For real?
Deregulation. Deregulation is the reason why. When you start loosening the rules, we're going to loosen the rules a little bit more, loosen the rules a little bit more, loosen the rules a little bit more. All you're doing is creating a problem. You can't solve one problem by creating 15 more.
Yeah, because they made them tight for a reason.
Exactly.
There was rules for a reason.
Exactly.
And it's like people forget. All you got to do is go back 60 years and look at what the rules were. Leave the shit alone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just like we're going to open up new federal preserves that was set aside for wilderness, and now we're going to explore and see if it's oil there. Bitch, you know it's oil there. Ain't nothing else been there for fucking 400 years.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's oil there. You're going to find some form of fossil fuel there. How viable it is to mine and use, another question. But you know it's something there. That's why you're opening this shit up.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm going to tell you what will fuck up a country faster than anything else. Greed.
Gluttony. Yep.
We want to still be the best. We still want to be the biggest. But you create two problems. You create the 1% and the 99% of the rest. And just like in Marie Antoinette, when she was fucking the queen of fucking France.
Yeah.
She said, let them eat cake. That's literally what this motherfucker is saying right now. Let him eat cake. He's literally saying this to us in a tax bill. Because you think this tax bill is going to benefit you, middle class, because that's what we are, middle class. Right. In 10 years, it's not. You are literally going to be getting bent over and fucked with no Vaseline.
Mm-hmm.
That's nasty.
That's an old Ice Cube quote from an Ice Cube song back in the day. You don't know about that. No Vaseline.
Yeah, no Vaseline.
No Vaseline.
Easy-E.
No, that's Ice Cube.
Huh?
Ice Cube.
Who? I said Ice Cube diss Easy-E.
Yeah, he diss Easy-E.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Yeah. As you open up another bottle of Crown. But anyway, understand this.
We gotta get on this stock shit.
We're gonna get on stock shit. I'm gonna let him have the rest of it. He's gonna talk about
minutes.
We're gonna let him talk about stocks because you can't go too deep into it because it's a two-part podcast.
Yeah.
But I always say this every podcast: midterm elections. Midterm elections coming.
Go vote.
October, November timeframe. You start seeing advertisements sometime in the early spring. Get these motherfuckers out of Congress and Senate. Get them out. They are fucking you up over the long haul. Now, if you like what's going on, you're going to vote for them and keep them in there because you're making money. But if you realize what's really going to happen to the 99% that's at the bottom, you're going to get them the hell up out of there.
Yeah.
Okay, with that being said, we're going to get back on the stock thing.
Oh.
So we're going to let my man, the guru,
Damn Jones. You had a lot to get off your chest.
Yes,
huh?
I did.
Damn.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
So
hey, it's good when you got wisdom to share. That's
so,
a good thing. It's a good thing.
Albury, you were saying a little on this Bitcoin. I'm gonna get off of it. But earlier you were saying something about economic illiteracy or whatnot, right?
Right.
Do you think that's the reason why everyone's jumping on to this whole cryptocurrency thing? Because I feel as though it's like that shit is popping everywhere. Like,
right. Yeah.
The average people I know that probably don't know shit about like the stock market. I mean, I don't know everybody. I don't know everything about the stock market. I know certain things, whatnot. But like, it seems like the average person, not to shit on them, but like everybody want to do it,
right?
But they don't really know the end game to it.
See, and I think I have a couple of rules I've acquired.
You don't even know the CEO,
and that's exactly it. Because I've acquired a couple of rules from playing this game long enough, and I borrowed them from just successful individuals. And everybody knows Warren Buffett; he's a household name. But when he says, "Don't invest in anything you don't understand," I got to take that one to heart.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I'm willing to invest in Papa John's because I know how to make a goddamn pizza.
Yeah.
But if you come to me saying, "Hey, do you want to buy Bitcoin?" I'm gonna ask you, "How do you make a Bitcoin? How do you mine it? Who started it? How long has it been around? Everybody's getting on the Bitcoin craze now because it's in air quotes trending. But if you look back, it's actually been around for over a decade now.
Yeah, Ben, like the scammers don't use it.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's the thing. It's a universal it's a universal currency. Yeah. So when you're talking about getting in on Bitcoin, you are literally risking somewhat of a solid American dollar for something that's completely intangible. And so when you're taking on that risk, like I said before, think of it in probabilities. If you have a risk of losing money, or rather transferring money into a different form with Bitcoin, what's going to be your reward? You expecting to go up to another 100%, 300%? You looking for some type of return from it, right?
Yeah.
But what if it goes in the opposite direction? Are you? And it all comes down to how much you're willing to risk, because the first thing you got to ask yourself, even before the market starts to go down, ask yourself, how much are you willing to lose?
Shit.
Because if you ain't willing to lose at all, hey, trust me, the stock market is not poker. It is not. You ain't no all in on nothing. You go all in, you done. And 2008 is evidence of that. Enron is evidence of that. You had a woman that worked there. Jones was telling me earlier. There was a woman that worked in Enron. She had stock in the company. She worked there for 30 years? 30 years. Even longer. 30 years worked at the company, put all her life savings in the company. She had acquired over $1.5 million in the stock. Literally. She was about to retire in 2 weeks and the company crashed. Lost everything.
1.5?
1.5. And that was just in stock. That didn't count what was in her retirement account.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So she lost everything because she had faith in this concrete mortar building.
And I want to throw that out there, that I understand that everybody ain't got $1 million to invest. Hell, I sure as hell ain't got $1 million to invest.
Shit, I know. She probably didn't, but she wound up acquiring
because
it.
she had waited so long. She had acquired the amount of stock, and they had kept rising.
Right.
What we called it earlier, the overvaluation of the S&P.
Exactly.
It's valued higher than it should be.
Yeah. Exactly. And that's really what I think a lot of people need to pay very strong attention to, because one, you need to ask yourself, how much do you have to invest? Because it's a 3-step formula. You ain't got to know anything beyond second grade math to be rich. I promise.
Let's break
if
it
you
down.
If you know how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide, I promise you can be rich.
That's 4.
Oh, you right. I apprriate that. Thank you.
Yeah, you got to keep up, baby.
Right. You're right.
They got to know but 3 things. Add, subtract, multiply. That's 4 things. Okay, well, anyway, we ain't that drunk.
There we go.
The ground ain't that
sure?
strong.
Hey, this is my guru, though, for real.
Right.
It's people going to listen to this podcast and like, yo, he ain't a guru.
Right. I got to double check my numbers sometime. but they always in the green, though. They always in the green. So you know those things. All you got to do, look at how much you spend.
Okay.
Subtract that by how much you make.
Uh-huh.
And then that's what you have left over to invest.
Okay.
So that means you need to sit down and have a concrete budget. And that does mean incorporate those luxuries. Because if you go sit there and tell me that you ain't got enough money to invest, I'm going to sit there and tell you ain't got enough to pay for your light bill. Because you can't say you ain't got enough money to invest when you making enough money that you want to say you want to go out and buy a fresh pair of shoes. So you definitely have the money to invest. It's just a matter of what you make your priorities. So you subtract how much you spend from how much you make. That's step 1, making a budget, understanding how much you spend on a monthly basis, and then how much you make. And that's not just what people paying you. That's how much you paying yourself. Because once you understand how much you're spending, that's when you understand how much you need to save. Yeah. And once you understand how much you need to save, that will give you a small portion of what you want to invest. Because you don't need to go out here putting your whole check into the stock market or into any investment for that matter. You need to caution yourself. Start slow. Like, as a matter of fact, you're doing it now. You're starting off with 1 shares, 2 shares, 3 shares. You're building yourself up. Yeah. And that's exactly how I started that exact same way. Now, just because I have a certain number of shares I can buy, that don't mean nothing. Because at the end of the day, like I said, it's all about how much you can lose. You can lose 20%, I can lose 20%. But that's going to translate to 2 different sizes of capital. Because if you only got $2,000 versus if I got $20,000, then we both still losing 20%. Just because mine more don't mean nothing. Yeah. So
okay. Let me. I don't mean to cut you off, but let me say this.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't. No, I don't. Because we remember out there in podcast world, like I often say, everybody don't understand the terminology that he might be using. When you say capital, you're talking about money. Capital is nothing more than cash. That's all it is. So when you hear him use capital, when you say he's in the green, if you into accountants go by red and black. If you in the red, you owe money. If you in the black, you good. When you in the green in the stock market, you good. When you in the red, you in shit. Yeah. So when he's saying these terms, and I'm not trying to talk over him and try to steal none of his thunder, but I
Oh,
want to
not
make
at
sure
all.
people understand what he's saying so that when you go back and do your research and you see these terminology, you hear the word capital, you hear lost and gains and all this stuff. That's what he's talking about. You in the green, you good. You in the reds, you bad. Capital is nothing more than cash in some form, whether it's electronic or actual hard paper currency. That's all it is.
Now, I will say, if you could kindly touch on brokerage.
Right.
Because, you know, each one has fees. Some people just think you could just Google Starbucks stock. And
Right,
and
and then buy it.
Yeah.
Right. And I think what's most important for that one is that you really need to find you a simple broker. You don't need no complex, like trying to do what Wall Street doing. Find yourself a simple broker. They're called discount brokers. I recommend Googling discount brokers for beginners because that'll give you a good list. NerdWallet does a good job. They analyze the brokers, what they offer in commissions, what their services are, and they give you a comparison year by year. So you can go to 2016, 17, 18. NerdWallet put that list together for you. So that's actually one of the websites I use to determine my broker. I'm actually broker with TradeStation, and the reason I'm broker with TradeStation is because they just started this last year. They actually have a commissions-free program. Commissions is what you pay your broker
For investing your money.
exactly.
Yeah.
And so TradeStation just came out with a commissions-free program. So if you're active duty military, retirees get a discount, but if you're active duty military, it's commission-free. If you're a first responder, it's commission-free, and then veterans get a discounted rate.
I'm a first responder.
Oh,
Damn,
shit.
man.
There we go.
Okay, go
There
for
we
it,
go.
Jones.
So
Go. I'm with Ally, so.
there we go. So I'm with them not just because they're commission free, but also because they're one of the best in the business.
Yeah.
Because not only do they work with retails, the small guys, that 99%, they also work with the institutions, the banks who are in charge of the 1%'s money.
Yeah.
So they work with both sides of the party, and they're very neutral. So that's why I love working with them.
Oh, shit. Okay, that's cool. My next question is now, you know, I think it's going to become a new trend. You know, Cali just legalized marijuana.
Right.
And, you know, Vegas and
Right.
other states legalize marijuana. What about getting into that industry?
I honestly like the industry. I like where it's going. I like what it's doing because one of the things that is
The marijuana industry, for those that didn't know.
there we go. Thank you.
Yeah.
What's really hindering us, I think economically, just economically, is where particularly restrictions are placed. Because I do think restrictions do need to be in place with regard to economic spending, with regard to economic debt accumulation. There most certainly need to be restrictions there. But at the same time, we can't just gloss over the number of people we've incarcerated for using marijuana, and now we're trying to make it a public product.
Yeah.
So I just want to
Yeah,
throw that
yeah.
disclaimer
We'll be
out
here all
there.
night on that.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So that's all I'm gonna say
Don't
on
get on
that.
that shit.
Like, just let's not get too absorbed into it, but also understand that there are capital gains in that.
Yeah.
Because it is going to be a growing industry here in the future.
Well, what the capital gains is this. Colorado did it for a year. Made like 1 point something, a whole bunch of money.
Yeah.
I ain't
Right.
gonna give you no exact number because I don't know it. It was a
Right.
whole lot of damn money.
Google it,
Even
shit.
for legally for a state from taxing it
Right.
for the people that sold it. Once Colorado did it, people was like, yo, wait a minute. This shit makes sense. We've been locking
Always
motherfuckers
made
up. We've been
sense.
locking motherfuckers a 3-strike rule.
Right.
These motherfuckers in California doing life for
Right.
weed. Let's make this shit legal and we can make some money too. See, it never benefits anybody until they can figure out a way to make money from it.
Exactly.
And that's one of the biggest things I learned about this game. You can't approach the stock market thinking that there are sides. You can
Sides,
only
what do you mean?
sides as in if there's a good guy or a bad guy.
So no morals.
I almost.
Almost?
I'm gonna say. As a matter of fact, yes. I'm gonna say there are no morals, but I'm gonna say that there are individual.
FCC is supposed to be the moral voice of
Right.
the stock trade.
It
But
is.
they just as crooked as a letter S.
And that's what I was about to throw out there. While there may be no morals, there most certainly are individual ethics. There are principles and
Right.
guidelines that men who play this game live by, and that's what determines whether or not they win or lose. Because then, look, somebody can actually make money and they will feel crappy about how they made it because they have their way of living their life and making their money. So when they go against that principle and they go against what they know works, that's a loss to them for real. It don't matter. When you get to a certain level, it's not about the money. It's about whether or not you're designing and you're living your life the way you want to. And I'm not talking about the American dream. I'm talking about waking the hell up and getting the hell to work. and putting in the time, the knowledge, the energy, and the effort that it takes to ensure that not only you are taken care of, but also that the next generation is taken care of. Now, I don't want to go off into a tangent about who needs to take care of who, but I would definitely say that when it comes down to playing and incorporating this game into your lifestyle, you got to look at it as, are you thinking about just for what you got today right now, or are you looking at 10, 20 years down the line? Because if we want to be realistic, just look at 10, 20 years back. Look, because like I said, like Jones was explaining earlier, he's lived through more economic volatility than any of us. A lot of shit. And so there is never a guarantee. I'm gonna tell you right now, there's no guarantee when approaching the stock market. But when you approach that arena, you got to make sure you have ethics and philosophies that you are willing to die for, that you are willing to defend with your capital. Because if you ain't got no money, you can't play the game.
But ethics that you are willing not to go for, even though it might be a good trend, you like, fuck, my ethics won't allow it, right?
Exactly. And that's where it goes down. That's where it goes back to the rules. Your rules have to define for you how you're going to live your life. Yeah. Because you got to define how you live your life, because that's the only way you're going to be able to define how you want to run your money. Because the method to the madness is don't work for your money, make your money work for you.
Right. It's and always a younger, smarter person than the person that already did it.
Exactly.
If I'm where I'm at, let's say for instance, a Warren Buffett, for example.
Right.
We use him as an example because he's a household name.
Right.
If I got as much money as Warren Buffett, doing it the right way, it's always somebody that's going to try to cut a corner, save some time or save some money, and do it a kind of crooked way to get to the same spot. The problem with that is it don't never work. In the end, it always brings you back to the beginning. How you start is how you finish. So if you start crooked, you're going to end crooked, and you're going to end up in some shit. So as long as you do it the right way every time, you can't go wrong.
Yeah.
And here's how that is incorporated into your money management. And that's really what a lot of people don't speak to, because people throw all they got into the stock market because nobody ever teaches them about the money management portion.
Yeah.
You can't put all in you got to put in small chips, portions. No more than 10% is my rule. And that's a rule I got from one of the wealthiest men who ever played the game. This man said, all you got to do, now you might not understand the terminology, but just follow me on this one. He said, all you got to do is buy 50% retracements and you'll make a fortune. Now,
repeat that.
Right. So all you got to do is buy 50% retracements.
Retracements. What is that?
Right.
What does
so
that word mean?
It's basically when you got that trend going and you see the prices going up, there's a probability that price will come back down 50%.
Right.
Ooh.
And then it will continue to rise back up.
Okay.
So the number of times that occurs, if we were to put it to a 1 to 10, it's more likely to occur 6 out of 10 times than not. So now you have the probability of being right 6 out of 10 times. And let's say you only risking 10% at a time. So you now have a 60% chance of making money. Now, my thing is let's translate that to your job.
Yeah.
Do you have a 60% chance of keeping your job over the next decade?
Hell nah.
Fuck no, not the way.
Exactly.
Hell
Exactly.
Nah. I'm gonna put it to you like this.
Right.
I'm gonna put it to you a way, and some people that's gonna listen to this podcast gonna understand better.
Mm-hmm.
All he just said was, that's hustler language.
That is hustle. Ain't nothing but a hustle.
That's hustling language.
Ain't nothing but a hustle.
All it is I got a product. I'm going to sell it. I got an opportunity to make a profit. Sometimes I'm going to sell more. Sometimes I'm going to sell less. But I'm still going to make a profit some kind of way. Even if I lose, I win eventually because people going to keep on coming back and getting my product. It ain't nothing but hustler language.
Exactly.
When you say retraceables, people like in the hood going to be like, what the fuck is a retraceable?
Right.
When you put it in hustler language, look, you got this. You sell it, you get money. If you don't sell it, you don't make money. You're going to lose. Some days you're going to win. Some days you're going to lose. But you always going to come out on top if you keep on selling the product.
Consistent.
Yeah.
And that's it right there. Being consistent.
That's it. And I do that not to cut you off and not to take nothing from you,
right.
but because it's something, like I said, people going to listen to this podcast.
Right.
They're not going to understand what that means.
Right.
But me coming from the hood where I come from, I know exactly that shit ain't nothing but fucking hustling 101.
Exactly. Yeah. And for my real life hustlers out there, because I grew up in a barbershop.
He said for my real life hustlers.
For my real life hustlers out there.
Look, I got a speech defect. All right, I was born in the South, but I ain't got no accent. All right, it's a speech defect. So for those,
that's proper education.
There we go. For those who are familiar with Death Poet Jam, Tommy Bottoms is a poet. And he did a poem by the title of Basic Economics. And he basically proves, he breaks it down for you. Ain't no difference between a drug dealer and a stockbroker.
At all.
As a matter of fact, if you really think about it, it's the same game, just two different classes. Because at the end of the day, it's all selling the product. And all you got to do is make sure you got more people buying your product than somebody else.
Yeah.
And so when it comes down to it, you got to make sure you have those principles, those ethics, and that philosophy in your life. Because at the end of the day, you are making your money work for you. But watch this. Your money ain't going to do nothing you don't tell it to do. You have to be the one in charge. You have to know where you want your money to go. You have to know what you want your money to do.
Yeah.
That means you got to know what you're willing to risk, and you got to know what you're willing to accomplish.
Yeah, and I think that kind of goes in line what we were saying before as far as like stocks. You know, you could put so much money into it, but it's like, when are you willing to pull out?
Exactly. And I only got two sets. These are my two sets. Lower highs. When that means everybody always hears, oh, the stock market reached a new time high. Give me about 2 weeks. If I get about 2 weeks, I don't hear a new high, I'm out. And then I wait about a week, and then I get back in. I wait for that 2 week window, and then I'm out again. And the reason why I do it like that is because, of course, everybody gonna advertise when to buy because they trying to push their product.
Yeah,
they want you to buy their product. So of course,
low.
hey, this is good. You need to buy this. You need to buy that. But you'll never hear nobody telling when to sell.
True.
Nobody ever tells you when to sell the stock. You could get recommendations all day. You can get tips, as they're called, all day. But ain't nobody gonna tell you when to get out.
Yeah.
And you know why they can't tell you when to get out? That's called insider trading.
There it is.
They can't tell you when to sell your stock because it's insider trading.
Right.
I know, like, I'll give you a prime example. Martha Stewart.
Right.
Went to jail for a year because insider trading.
Yeah.
Somebody told her, hey, psst, like Cat Williams said, psst, Martha, you might want to sell that shit because it's about to crash. Martha sold that shit. You can't do that. That's illegal.
Yeah.
Because if she did it, then she surely told somebody else, hey, yo, sell this shit. It's about to crash. They did it. Then somebody else did it. And that's what caused the stock market to take a shit.
Oh, shit.
That's how it works. When everybody starts selling their stocks at the same exact fucking time, the stock market will take a shit and it'll fuck the whole economy up. That's why it's illegal. It's called insider trading. Now, do they know when the stock about to take a shit? They probably know about 2 weeks in advance. People be like, yo, this shit looking funny.
Yeah.
It's looking kind of skeptical. It's looking like, yo, something about to happen. But if they start telling people, that's where the FCC come in, the Federal Trade Commission. That's where they come in. When they find out, they be like, yo, y'all did some illegal shit. Y'all about to do some fair time. Fair time ain't a joke for black people. It's goddamn laughable for white folks that do what they call white collar crime. A fucking year in a fucking country club.
Pretty much.
Be black and do some fucking illegal shit and get fair time.
Be black and do a white collar crime. See what that
Come on. What
I'm saying is this.
Mm-hmm.
There's like you said one day about sexual harassment. I'm gonna go back to what you said. There's levels to this shit.
Oh yeah, it is.
There's levels to this stock market shit. You gotta understand how the game is played, and I call it a game because that's exactly what it is. Once you understand how the game is played, then you can start playing the game. But understand this: don't ever think you're smarter than the person that designed the damn game.
And there it is. And that's my entry right there, because that's where everybody gets caught up. And that's called euphoria. Euphoria is when you literally at the top of a bowl. You all you doing is winning. All I do is win. That's it. You winning, you winning, you winning.
On the Titanic.
Exactly.
Grace. Yeah, Grace.
And you think you can't be beat. Yeah. And all it takes is one knockout. There go your championship. Because the more you win, the more you want to put in. And on to speak to insider trading, this is why you got to do your own thinking. Because at the end of the day, the reason why it's illegal is because the game is designed for you to win. But everybody thinks the game is rigged. Everybody thinks everybody's against them, yada, yada, yada. And I'm not going to lie. Of course, there are certain areas of our economy and of our society that are against certain other areas. But at the end of the day, when you talk about playing a game that any and everybody has access to, then it's all yours. It's just a matter of you making your own rules, you defining what you want, you defining your risk. You literally just taking control of your life and making your own decisions. That's all the stock market is.
I'm gonna give you another example because they just keep coming to me while he talks.
There we go.
444. What Jay-Z say about that damn that apartment he could have bought? For $2 million.
Yeah, $2 million.
Now that shit worth so many more millions.
Yeah, like $8 million.
Dumbo.
Yeah.
Because caution makes you not do something.
That's right.
That's why it's called risk. The word risk don't mean nothing but doing something that somebody else ain't willing to do. That's it.
Right.
I'm willing to do something you ain't willing to do.
Someone that you know. Someone's doing it.
I don't give a fuck if you know them or not. They're willing to risk a little bit more than you're willing to risk. and they're gonna hopefully benefit from it.
And
Keyword hope though.
No. But the thing with that is,
You said hopefully.
yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It is. But since you want to go there, what's faith? No, what's faith? What's faith?
Hope. Ta-da.
And-
I wish somebody had a camera and see my damn face. It's the same shit. When people say
The
you
WB,
walk by faith and not by sight, that ain't nothing but you walking
By hope.
in hope. You walking by like I hope that when people say, "Oh, the Lord's gonna guide me."
open your
Okay.
eyes. He gave you eyes to see.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, he ain't guiding you to stupidity. He ain't
Right.
right. You jump off a damn building without a parachute. What he's telling you is to use the damn gray matter between your ears and make yourself be a better person than you was yesterday. But you still got to do some of the work. He ain't never say he was gonna do the work for you. He gonna help you. He ain't never say he gonna do it for you. Same thing that people do when they got money. If you got, let's say you got $250 and you invested in, I don't know, fucking Bruh Man sandwich shop. Bruh Man don't never make a sandwich.
From the fifth floor.
From the fifth floor.
With 4 fingers up.
Bruh Man don't never make a sandwich. You lose your $250. The next time Bruh Man come around and you talk about something, yo, can I borrow $250 to start a sandwich shop? What you gonna tell him?
Fuck no.
Exactly. You don't gotta learn a lesson more than once to know that it's a lesson.
That's
Same
right.
thing in the stock market. You get burned one good time doing this stock market shit, you will learn from it and you'll adjust the way you do it.
But it's
you
the
want-
knowledge too behind it.
It is a knowledge, but you gotta have some faith. Because again, it's not a sprint. You ain't running 100 yards.
Yeah, this is
it's a long haul.
a sprint.
It's a long haul. It's a marathon.
And,
What
and
you say? Stocks. I'll say stocks is a long haul, but at the end of the day, you kind of know. You got to know when to get out because all these
And
stocks
that's-
will plummet
that's
at
key.
the end of the day.
That's the key.
and I got the equilibrium for both of your perspectives.
He said the equilibrium. Okay,
Right.
go ahead.
Because-
Go ahead with your bad self.
Hey, for those people out in Paul class world, that's balance.
I can't help it. I can't help it.
Equal damn librium.
Just be
That's just
you.
how I talk. I don't know.
Be you. Go ahead.
But what it is you got your individuals who have learned how to play the game that way. Yeah. You have people who only sprint in the stock market. They in one week, they out the next. Yep. That's it. But then you got those guys who they're like, oh, I'm gonna just jog along. I ain't gotta make $500 a day, but as long as I'm collecting my pennies, as long as my stock ain't going under, as long as it's not, as long as I ain't losing money, they're like, all right, I'm gonna just keep on trucking along, keep on looking for the next opportunity. Because really, that's all it is. Because I'm glad you brought up Jay-Z because he isn't the example in the industry that he is without moving on to the next opportunity like he did.
Yeah.
And so he's the perfect example of what it is to be a marathon runner in this game.
Did he? I mean, to pick any one of these we call moguls now.
There we go.
They're not. And I hate to use it. I hate to say this because people are like, "Oh, they moguls." No, they're not. No, they're not. You know what a mogul is?
At the end of the day,
as much as I hate to say it, as much as I hate this motherfucker to my core, and you don't supposed to hate nobody, Donald Trump a mogul. You know why he a mogul?
right.
I agree.
Yep.
Listen to me. I'm gonna tell you why he a mogul though.
I just said agree.
He done lost. No, I gotta tell you why though. God damn, don't disagree with me. He done lost.
right?
He done got it again.
Right.
He done lost.
Right.
He done got it again. You got to be able to lose and come back in order to be consider yourself a mogul. You just can't keep rising without never losing.
See, and that was I did not want to bring this out, but that's just like the key right there. So when I first started this, the reason why Alexander calls me a guru is because on average, in a market like this, your portfolio managers, the men on Wall Street, they're looking to get you if you got a good look retirement cushion, if you will, they're looking to get you 20% tops, because they have so much money under management that if they just start pouring money into the market, it's literally going to move the market itself. So it's like when you throw a rock into a pond or a body of water, it's going to create ripples. And so they literally have to put capital restraints on how much they invest where. So at best in a bull market like this, you got these young men making you 20%. The reason why Alexander calls me a guru is because I took a loss. When I first started
Goddamn fucking loss, bitch.
when I first started this, I
Get
lost.
a background on this shit.
There we go. I lost I'm talking over $10,000.
Okay.
And that's money. And when I tell you, you don't understand.
What age?
Oh, this was 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
20.
20.
As a what?
I was a E3.
E3, not even 3
Lance
years in the
Corporal.
Marine Corps.
Right.
Lance Corporal in the Marine Corps lost.
Lance Corporal lost 10 stacks.
Look, and when I tell you I ain't make that much, you know how I afforded it?
We know.
Yeah, you're right. it was my first credit card. My first credit card I had. I was so goddamn excited about investing. I maxed it out. I had 6 months, maxed it out. And you know what happened when I maxed it out? I called Navy Federal. I was like, hey, can I raise the credit limit? They were like, sure. And I was like, heck yeah, maxed it out again. Because I'm like, I'm going to learn how to do this. I'm going to make me money. And that's what happens when you have that make me money mindset. You start spending money you ain't even got. When I tell you I was eating peanut butter and jelly and ramen noodle for the next, not even 6 months. We talking next year? That ain't no joke right there.
Crazy part, the only thing that really saved him was he's in Japan.
That is. Yep.
That's the only reason. That extra pay.
He was like your boy off a damn paid in full.
Yeah.
Right.
Anybody that ever did me wrong, be dead. He was that dude in the car crying and shit. Yeah. Yo, I'm gonna be eating peanut butter and jelly for the next year. Be dead. That was him. And I
that's
understand that when you say you lost, a lot of people that's gonna listen to this are not gonna be able to fathom losing $10,000.
Right.
But
at 20 years old?
At 20 years old. I ain't even held $10,000 in my hands before, and I'm out here losing money like that.
But you don't have to lose to win.
That's right.
Don't go with Fantasia. You don't have to lose to win. What you gotta do is this. Start small.
Right.
Until you're comfortable going bigger. We always say at the beginning of this podcast, you don't believe us, Google the shit. There's something called penny stocks.
Right.
You can literally do penny stocks. If you don't feel comfortable with spending real big money, you got some pennies laying around. You got some you could use.
Little chump change.
Right.
You got some change from buying a cup of coffee today you could use to buy some stocks. Start with that until you get comfortable in the market. Do that for a few months and see how it works. And then go to the next step. Ain't nobody telling you to go out there and put $10,000 in the stock market. Because when you lose that shit, do not call me because I can't help you.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie to you.
And I would say just constantly talk with people.
Right. Gain more knowledge.
And gaining that knowledge piece. Because yes, that was where I came from. But I think this is what puts me at the guru status that Alexander thinks I'm at. I would say that even before you get into penny stocks, what I did was I created a portfolio, and I had systems that I have used and tested, and I did it using first simulated accounts. So simulated accounts are my way to go because as I learned very early on, hope is not a strategy. Hope is not a strategy.
Pan out.
Exactly. So for me, I use simulated accounts, and they're really you can literally just type it into Google.
Yeah.
There's one website, Investopedia.
That's what I got.
That's a famous one. A lot of people use that one. It'll give you virtual money to trade with, but it will follow the real market. So in the same way as if you were to buy that stock for real in real time, it'll follow the market the exact same way.
That's why he's the guru. He's telling me, see, I said pennies. He said virtual. You ain't got to risk no money at all. Shit, he's talking about some shit you ain't got to worry about. You could play like you playing a video game. I'm just saying.
Exactly. And this is what has really gotten me to the point to where I can be confident in what I'm doing, because 2017 was my year. Because I lost that 10K in the beginning, but I can say today that I made it back. I'm working on my way to becoming a monger. I ain't there yet, Jones, but I'm working my way up there, because 2017, all I did was follow the trend all the way through. I closed out my portfolio with a 36% gain for the year. That's investor, hedge fund, institutional. Like you managing some Donald Trump money working with those numbers, and to only be doing this for 3 years, that speaks volumes to getting that right education and having that persistence. Because when I tell you, it wasn't just about the money. It was also about putting in the time to get educated.
Right.
Because I was staying up. I had a full-time job working in the Marine Corps, but I'm still staying up until 2 o'clock every single weeknight trying to get in this education, trying to get it. I get off maybe about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. From 5 to midnight, I'm studying. I'm trying to find some new knowledge, some new gains, a new strategy, a new system, a new way to invest, and make sure I understand the process of investing.
Yeah.
Well, this one of those things I want to tell you people. I'm sitting here listening to this young man talk about the whole stock market, gain, loss, all of it, losing and winning and coming back again. And I'm 47. Ain't nobody never talked to me about no damn stock market. So if you think you're too old, you're never too old to learn something new. That's number one. Take a little bit of that pride and swallow it and be willing to learn something new. Number two, don't let fear and your homeboys and your homegirls and them naysayers hold you back.
There it is.
Because they will drag your ass down. They like crabs in a fucking bucket. You'll never get out of the bucket, and neither will they.
Right.
Y'all all be living in the same shit, doing the same shit 10 years from now, and you be like, yo, why am I still here? Because you didn't take the step to try to get out of what you at. And don't get me wrong, we don't judge. We all from the hood. All of us.
Yep.
We just
me.
changed our circumstances to be where we at now. That's it.
Shit, we sacrificed fucking
and
freedom.
we went to we went to boot camp. Which sucked. And we did some other shit that sucked. So we did some stuff that sucked.
Me and Albury did the Crucible. So the Crucible wasn't out.
Right. There we go.
I like fucking with Joe.
See, these motherfuckers got age jokes. See, when this podcast go off, I'm whoop both their ass though.
But one thing that really spoke out to me when I was talking with Albury about the whole stock market was like, he put it to me to where I can understand it, and then he was like, okay, he has his career of being in the military for a long ass time, but he was like, yo, by the time I reach Sergeant Major, I'm gonna be a millionaire, and I said,
we ain't even gotta wait till we get to Sergeant Major. I'm looking more like at Gunner Sergeant right now. If I keep on going the way I'm going,
He's looking at because he had aspirations.
Yeah,
and I'm not mad at that because I'm gonna tell you what that's gonna do for him when he retires. It's gonna make retirement so much easier.
Yeah,
so
you
much
really
easier.
just sit at 20 and be like, all right, bitch, I'm done. Like,
Why,
done.
why get out at 20 if you still got the physical ability to stay in?
Yeah,
because
true that.
The more money you can get from the man, get it.
True that.
And for me, I personally don't believe in retirement. When it comes down to it, I got the military right now, but when I do conclude my service, then it's just a matter of accumulating so many assets that's going to be my business.
Yeah.
That's going to be my timekeeper.
Gotcha.
Because for me, retirement ain't you just go off and go on the beach every day and don't worry about nothing. For me, retirement is you setting up multiple layers of cushions to ensure that ain't nothing gonna rock your foundation as far as you not having to worry about who you need to work for or what person you got to answer to on what day. Look, I am enjoying my military career, but that dream of not having to answer nobody, and even better, being accountable only to yourself, that's priceless. You can't put a number on, you can't put a price tag on that.
Okay, I got you. Now, before we close this out, is it like I know you mentioned Investopedia to get knowledge? Any like Facebook pages or any other places where people could get insight for this stuff? Insight.
Actually, yeah, I do have a Facebook page that I follow. It's actually Black Traders.
Okay.
You type it in exactly like that. It'll be the first one that pops up. That's a community of African American traders.
White traders, sorry.
That's the rest of the stock market. The white people. That's the rest of them. The white people. They run the shit.
Yeah.
And the reason why I want to put that one out there is because the financial industry is one that is not heavily populated with minorities. Or those minorities get so segregated in only working in specific portions that there is no variety when it comes to the opportunities in branching out and capitalizing upon new situations. They just get that textbook stereotype label. Like if an Asian walks in the room, you're gonna be like, oh, he good at math, let's put him on the accounting team. But he might be the guy to let you know, hey, this is when the market's gonna turn, but you don't want to listen to him because you're too busy stereotyping.
That's disrespectful.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's stereotypical. That's
right.
Hypocritical. That's a lot of things.
Right.
But what he's saying, I'm telling you, I told you this is a 2-part podcast. You can't do it all in one podcast. This financial thing is a 2-part thing.
Yeah, I know.
What this young man is saying is, to people out there in podcast world, the ability to be better than you are right now is in your own hands.
That's right.
You have to get out this mentality that because everybody else is doing it, I got to do it too.
Right.
Because Jordans ain't the most important shit in the world.
Exactly.
Michael ain't think about y'all asses. I'm gonna tell you that right.
He don't even know your name.
Don't know who the hell you are. I'm gonna tell you something else. Change your life one step at a time. You can't do it all overnight.
Mm-hmm.
It starts surrounding people that's in the market that you're willing to fulfill.
Right.
And I don't know why, but before this podcast ends, I got to give a shout out to I think you pronounced it Miami Biney. She's a Black African American, 17-year-old Olympic qualifier in speed skating. And the reason why I'm giving her a shout out is because she's the first person to do it. Black African American.
Right.
You know, white people will skate on some ice all damn day.
Right.
So nobody give a shit about that.
Canadian.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but when you African American, when that girl won that gold medal in the Summer Olympics last year,
right,
in the pool, people was like, I can't believe she did that.
Right.
The fuck you think we can't swim? I can't swim. I struggle at swim qual every year, but we can swim if you give us an opportunity. But you go back and I always do this little history bit. You go back in the civil rights movement, and I forget who it was. She put her foot in the pool, and they drained the whole fucking pool because she was black. So don't you ever think that we can't do what you can do. We can do it and more. And with this knowledge that we presenting right now, we're gonna change the world for somebody.
Yep, that's the key. I mean,
And there it
spread
is.
the knowledge. Spread
Exactly.
The knowledge. Yo, it's another episode of Unpredictable Thoughts Podcast. It's your boy Troubles.
And your man Jones.
With special guest Albury.
Special guest Albury. I want to say thank you once again, Albury, for the knowledge.
Absolutely.
We will have to link up again for this.
Of course.
I actually do want to capture your career the next time. You said a very interesting piece earlier, but we ain't going to get into that. But to all my listeners, hey, I need y'all to share it, subscribe. I need reviews. I need sponsors. I need something to, get this podcast popping for 2018. Have a lot of ideas, a lot of thoughts. My thoughts are unpredictable. That's why I call it Unpredictable Thoughts Podcast. You get it? How I go hand in hand. But it is what it is. I'm about to dip out. This Crown Royal Black got me feeling good. Hey, and look out for some sweatshirts that's coming in soon. Sweatshirts. I'm going to just say it now. Only 4 been made, actually. 4 been made. 4.
I got on one right now.
4 Unpredictable Thoughts sweatshirts have been made. So if there's any more after that, I could tell if it's fake. So because they made a certain way. So, but look out for all that good stuff. And I think that's it. Peace.
Save it.